Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share with you my most used fragrances in 2021. I have over 120 fragrances currently. Most of them I absolutely love, let's be honest, not all of them. And these were the fragrances that I found myself reaching for over and over and over. So if you want to know my most used fragrances last year, then please keep on watching. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing and also make sure to hit that notification bell because I'm going to upload a video every day now in the month of January where I do a recap of 2021. So definitely make sure to hit that bell. Also follow me on Instagram where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's start. I will cheat a little bit. I have one honorable mention that I have to share with you. So I'm going to start with that one. And this is YSL Cinema. This is, I don't know if it's a discontinued fragrance because all people say it's discontinued, but I can still find it available in a lot of websites. Tell me in the comments down below if you know if it's discontinued or not. I did do a big dent on this fragrance. It was a blind buy. Was it a successful blind buy? I would say no. It's not that I dislike it, but honestly, I don't see the hype behind this fragrance. And mostly I used so much of it because I wanted to give it a fair chance. So I continued to test it and wear it in different occasions and everything. But yeah, it's a good fragrance. There's nothing wrong about it. It's a floral vanilla with a citrusy touch. It's quite classy, signature worthy, everyday kind of a scent. It opens up quite citrusy, but the dry down is more warm and more vanillic. A good classy fragrance. I would categorize it as a good classy fragrance, but yeah, I don't like it so much. So I think this one will be decluttered, but I did use it a lot in 2021, and I included it only to do an update on this fragrance and if it's worth it in my opinion. So YSL Cinema. And now let's start my list. Number 10 in my list is Prada La Femme Intense. I love both of the Pradas, the original one and the intense version, but I found myself reaching for this one much more. This is so beautiful. Love this fragrance. This is a kind of a yellow, floral, feminine, a little bit tropical, but not in a coconut kind of a way fragrance. I blind bought this one and it was a very successful blind buy because I fell in love with it. Although it's not so long that I bought it, I already put a nice dent on it, which says a lot. I already have also a backup of it. So love the scent. It has also white floral, I think tuberose and jasmine. But what really shines here, like in the original one, is the beautiful frangipani note along with the ylang ylang. Love it. It's not, by the way, an intense version of the original one, so I don't know why they gave it that name. I would even say the original one is compared to this one, the intense version, but that is not important. A beautiful floral fragrance that screams of femininity, Prada La Femme Intense. The next one is also a fragrance that I bought almost in the same time that I bought Prada La Femme Intense, and that is Gucci Guilty Absolute Parfum. The Gucci Guilty Absolute is a beautiful, dark, deep, almost gothic rose. It's a rose patchouli combination with a lot of berries, but with a beautiful woody base. This is not everybody's cup of tea, and I was actually surprised that I loved this one because it's not exactly my type of scent, but I love it. It has an amazing performance and it's so addictive and intoxicating in a way that I can't explain. I mostly love this fragrance for autumn. Yeah, that screams for me this kind of weather, you know, it's cold but not too much, windy, I don't know. This is how this fragrance smells to me. So Gucci Guilty Absolute Parfum. The next one is from the collection privée from Christian Dior, Vanilla Diorama. This was released in 2021 and it's not so old in my collection, so that says a lot when you see this dent. I have a full review of that fragrance, which I will leave again linked up here and in the description down below if you want to watch it. And this is a gourmand fragrance with a big dose of vanilla and orange. So vanilla, orange with a hint of spiciness that comes from the cardamom and also the booziness. Love this fragrance so much. One of my favorites from the line, and yeah, I think François de Machy left Dior with a bang when he did this fragrance. Unfortunately, longevity and sillage on this one is not so great, but I love this one mostly for winter nights, for a comfy winter night, you know. So it's kind of an intimate fragrance that is very addictive and inviting. This is how I would describe this fragrance. So Vanilla Diorama from Christian Dior. Next fragrance is a freshie that I wear a lot during summer, and that is Mandarin Basilic from Guerlain. You can't see the dent, so maybe if I hold it like that you will see. I have a lot of fresh citrusy fragrances, and this one, oh, is just beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. I have a video where I shared my favorite fresh citrusy summer fragrances, which I will leave again linked up here and in the description down below. This is so gorgeous. The name says all. So this is a Mandarin basil based fragrance. It's citrusy, it's fresh, it's aromatic. I always describe this fragrance the same. It's as if you had a very cold, almost icy water in a hot, humid summer day. That is how this fragrance smells and feels. If you don't like aromatics, don't worry. Try this one. I have recently purchased the Jo Malone lime, basil, and mandarin. This is still the best. As you would expect from a citrus fresh fragrance, it's not so long lasting or projecting, but definitely if I compare it with the majority of citrusy fragrances, especially my collection, this is one of the best when it comes to longevity and sillage. So if you are looking for a fresh citrusy summer fragrance, you can't go wrong with Mandarin Basilic from the Aqua Allegoria line from Guerlain. Next one is my favorite bed scent. I know I have featured this one in my last video, but here it is again. It's definitely one of my most worn. This is Narciso Rodriguez Musc Noir. Again, a release of 2021. I have a full review on, which I will leave linked up here and in the description down below if you fancy watching a detailed review on this one. It's a very cozy, clean, musky scent with a hint of plum. There's also heliotrope and suede in the notes. If you don't like suede or leather, don't worry. I personally don't get it so much. But if you layer it with pure musk, you will definitely get the suede note. I don't know why, at least on my skin, that is what happened. The plum note that is added here is just gorgeous, very unique. And because it gives me this clean comfort vibe, and also because it does not perform well, I usually wear this one to bed. It's one of my go-to bed scents alongside Musc Chamel from Armani Privé and also Pure Musk from Narciso. But since this one came out, I definitely did not use Pure Musk as much as I did. And it's definitely cheaper than Musc Chamel from Armani. And this is why I use it so much. Love this fragrance. Musc Noir from Narciso Rodriguez. Next fragrance is also not so long in my collection. That is Juliette Has a Gun, Not a Perfume, Superdose. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is a very simple fragrance. It's a super dose of ambroxan. If you don't know how ambroxan smells like, it's like, to my nose, ambroxan smells fresh, clean, with a woody, citrusy vibe to it. It's very difficult to explain. It's mostly used in fragrances to enhance its performance. I tested this one in one of my testing hyped up niche fragrances. I will leave it linked up here if you want to watch it. And I immediately fell in love with it. It's so clean and refreshing. Love it, especially for after the shower, also for summertime. Just a very fresh, clean scent that is totally unisex, by the way. My only issue with it is that sometimes I smell it and sometimes I don't. And that is an issue with a lot of people, by the way. But if you smell it, it has an amazing longevity and sillage. Like, just amazing. It happened to me more than once. When I spray this one on clothes, I can still smell the fragrance even after washing my clothes. So yeah, Juliette has a gun, not a perfume, Superdose for a unique, fresh, clean summer fragrance. The next perfume I'm a little bit on the fence about. This is L'Ombre de Merveilles from Hermes. As you can see, it has quite a big dent on it. Let me refresh my memory. This is quite a unique amber fragrance. It has a big dose of ginger, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of a fresh amber, totally unisex. And you may ask why I am on the fence about this fragrance, although I have this big dent, because I bought this one duty free in the airport when I went to Egypt, not this one, this time the previous one, and I used it a lot there. But since I returned, I did not really use it much. I have smelled all the line, like the Merveilles line from Hermes, and I don't know, they are not my favorite. And I think this one will be decluttered very soon because I just don't reach for it. As I said, it's a kind of a fresh, spicy amber, but also longevity is really bad, and also sillage. So yeah, I don't know. So most probably I will declutter. So L'Ombre de Merveilles from Hermes. Next fragrance is Jean-Paul Gaultier La Belle. I know a lot of people talk about it, and also I talked about this fragrance a lot, but it's definitely worth the hype. This is a beautiful, fruity, sexy, amazing fragrance. This is pear, vanilla, and vetiver. It's definitely sweet. The pear note here is just amazing, just amazing. One of the best pear fragrances that I've ever smelled. Even if you don't like sweet fragrances like I do, you should at least try Jean-Paul Gaultier La Belle. There is a new Le Parfum version which came out last year. I do also love Le Parfum, like I adore it, but it's more of a winter fragrance. While this one is more versatile. I have a comparison on both of these fragrances, which I will leave it again linked here and in the description down below. And because of its versatility, I use this one much more. Amazing performance, longevity and sillage are just amazing in this fragrance. Very sexy, men love it. So yeah, just a beautiful, stunning designer fragrance. Jean-Paul Gaultier La Belle. Hi, editing Noura here. I just realized that I forgot to include one of my most used fragrances in 2021, and that is Moschino I Love Love. I don't know how I forgot about this fragrance. I think because I didn't use it like recently and I can't find the bottle anyway. It's one of my most used fragrances. It's definitely a very fresh, aquatic, in the type of fragrances like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Of course, it's not very natural smelling and it doesn't smell very expensive, but it does the job. I usually wear it for after the shower. When I'm in the house and I want to feel a little bit fresh in summer, I usually use this fragrance. I don't really use it now, like in cold weather, but during summer I used that fragrance to death. And the best part, it's guilt-free because it's so inexpensive. So for what I'm using it for, It's perfect. I can reapply, I can use it as much as I want, and I'm not afraid that I am going to break the bank to buy another fragrance. So, yeah, so just wanted to include that fragrance. Next fragrance is again a summer freshie, and this is Vetiver Pamplemousse from Zara Emotion collection. I love this fragrance so much. I mostly use this one for after the shower, or if it's too hot and I want to feel a little bit fresh, I spritz this one. I use it also a lot when I go hiking during summer. I leave that in the car, and when I return, I just spray myself first of all with that one just to refresh myself until I go home and shower. As the name says, this is a grapefruit vetiver fragrance, totally unisex. It was created in collaboration with Jo Malone from Jo Love, and it's one of their best sellers alongside Sunray and Amalfi, something like that. It's a great fragrance. Of course, longevity is not great. It's a Zara fragrance, and also like it's a citrusy fresh, so don't expect a long longevity on Sillage, but for what I personally use it, it works perfectly, especially for the price tag. So Vetiver Pamplemousse from Zara Emotion collection. Now, the last fragrance, I will be totally honest with you guys. I'm a little bit ashamed, and I shouldn't be. Why should I? Anyway, my most used fragrance in 2021 is Elizabeth Arden Green Tea Tropical. It is what it is. It's a cheapy, very cheap fragrance that just works beautifully for me as an after shower scent. I only used this one for after the shower, and this is why there is this big dent on it. I have quite also a collection for after the shower kind of scents, and from all the ones that I have, this is my favorite one. It smells like a tea fresh fragrance. I don't know why it's tropical, because I don't really get tropical vibe in it, but I definitely do prefer it to a lot in this line. I've smelled a lot from the green tea collection. This is my absolute favorite one. Does it smell expensive? Of course not. This is not an expensive fragrance, and it does not smell expensive. But if you are looking for a fresh fragrance that you want to use after the shower, that will not cost you a lot of money, Green Tea Tropical, or any of this line, actually, green tea line from Elizabeth Arden, it's just good. So these were my 10 most used fragrances in 2021. Some fragrances in my collection, like for example La Danza delle Libellule, are definitely fragrances that would have gone on this list was it not for the fact that they are very recent purchases, so I didn't have the chance to wear them a lot. So anyway, I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. Please tell me in the comments down below what is your most used fragrance in 2021. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell, because I'm going to upload a video every day in the month of January where I do a recap on the last year. So make sure to hit the notification bell. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in my next one. Ciao!